Hey everybody, this is Barry Heads with Sharp Counsel. Thanks for tuning in and taking time out your day to listen to a Sharp Snippet. As you know, Sharp Counsel is a place for us to learn, grow, and connect, so we're thankful to have you here. I've been thinking about a few things over this past week, and one thing that came to mind is persistence. I haven't thought about it too long, but it keeps coming to mind, so I wanted to give just a few minutes just to allow us to talk and think about this basic topic. It also came to mind, what also came to mind is Napoleon Hill's book. He's got an American classic that most people know about. And he has a few quotes that came to mind. I jotted them down and I wanted to share them with you. So just two simple quotes. I'll go over them really quickly. The first one is patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. I'll say it again. Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. And the second quote, and the one I like the most, probably one of the most important quotes in his book is, persistence is to the character as persistence is to the character of a man as carbon is to steel. I'll say it again. Persistence is to the character of a man as carbon is to steel. So I want to tell you a little bit about my history. I used to be an athlete. Well, I still am an athlete. I'm a pretty good athlete. But back in the day, I used to play quite a bit of sports. I played basketball and football. And now as an adult, I play tennis. And I was a pretty good athlete. I started playing sports when I was 4 years old, all the way up to organized sports, all the way up to 17 or 18 years old. I had an opportunity to play in college, but I didn't take it. Just got my degree. But playing basketball and football took a lot of diligence, took quite a bit of persistence, just to improve as an athlete and be pretty good, to make teams, to travel, etc., etc. It took hours of practice, hours of my life from age 4 to 18 worth of practice. It took days and days. There were injuries, there was money, there was time, there was focus and concentration. So there was quite a bit of persistence and diligence that I needed to be a good athlete. Today, as an adult, I play tennis. So I've been playing for about 4 years, and I've improved. Little by little, I've improved. But I only improve with persistence and practice. I have to go out there and I have to sweat. I've read books on tennis. I watch the pros play tennis, and I'm pretty good now. I can compete with just about anyone as long as I'm not playing against a pro. But I'm pretty good in tennis now. What I have learned, well, there's a few things I have learned. Number one was my first year of tennis, I wasn't good at all. I was pretty terrible. I remember people used to come by the tennis course and they used to take a look at me and they leave almost right away once they saw me hit the ball because they knew I wasn't any good. About the second year, people would stop. They look at me, they smile, nod their head, and keep going. I was getting a little better. By the end of the second year, what I did notice was people would come over to my court and ask me if I wanted to play them or be a part of their group. And I'd say, no, I'm still working out. I'm not that great yet. By the third year, I started accepting some of those invitations. So I'd go out, I'd go play, and I was getting better and better. Now I'm in my fourth year, and again, I can just about play or beat almost anyone if we're not talking about a pro. The second thing I've learned is, other than being just basically persistence and practicing tennis, is that I typically practice tennis once a week or twice a week. Now, on those days that I take off, or those weeks that I take off, if I don't play for a week or two, I notice I'm a bit rusty. So if I get into a match, a one-on-one or two-on-two doubles in tennis, what I have noticed is that when the ball is coming to me and I'm ready to strike it and send it back over the net to the other side, in my mind, I know I can make the shot, but my body is not in sync, so I'm a bit rusty. So if I want to hit it down the line, I'm a little too far to the left, I'm out of bounds to the right, I'm a little short on my hit, or I'm too long and the ball goes out of bounds. So that rust comes from a lack of persistence and a lack of diligence in my focus and my training. That's what I picked up the most, those two things. And then lastly, let's translate sports to leadership. So we can look at leadership just as we look at sports in this arena. And the goal is basically, as I said earlier, just to be diligent, just to be persistent. We have to be diligent about the details as leaders. We have to be diligent about maintaining our health in leadership and maintaining our family and social bonds. And also, we have to be diligent about maintaining our vision. As leaders, whether it's our business, our organization, or just our personal goals in our business and in our work life, we have to be persistent in maintaining it and keeping it as we see fit. Because if we don't, we'll veer to the left, we'll veer to the right. As I do in tennis, we'll be too long or we'll be too short, we'll be out of bounds. So keep your vision straight, keep working, stay diligent, and be persistent. And I wanted to leave you all with a final quote from the wise King Solomon, who once said, "The diligent shall rule." He wrote that down in Proverbs. So be persistent. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.